Hello everyone, welcome to JV Reddy Automation World. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go and subscribe to channel, enable notification for future ongoing videos. Right, today I came up with one more interesting topic. What is that? Alright, how to explain automation framework. Right, in most of the interviews we will get this question. Right, almost we will get this question. Right, explain about our framework or architecture of the framework. What are the components available in the framework? Right, we will get this question. Right, how to explain in a better way? Right, how to explain in a better way? So I will give you some overview, right, in detail explanation of the framework. What are the different components available? Each component, what it will contains, and what is the flow of the execution? What is the flow of the execution? Right, coming to frameworks, what are the right? Coming to frameworks, first of all, what are the different frameworks we have? We have a keyword-driven framework. We have a different frameworks like right, keyword-driven, different frameworks. We have keyword-driven framework, and then we have a modular framework, right, a modular framework, and then we have a hybrid framework. Right, mostly there are multiple things, but mostly these are the different frameworks we have. And keyword driven framework, mostly we will not use. What is keyword driven? In keyword driven means we will drive from some Excel or JSON. Suppose if you take a Excel, we will give Excel. What is the locator? What is the action we need to do? Suppose I want to enter text. And then we will give one more locator and then click on it. Right, like this from the Excel, we will drive it keyword driven by using we will give the locators, test case name, locator, and what is the action we have to perform, and then value, enter text. What is the text we need to enter value? Right, but this is not that much popular because very few people will use this because there is a multiple issues will be there. We have to write only one reusable logic. Right, if any issue is came, it is very difficult to understand what is the issue. Analysis time will take more. It will take a simple issue. Suppose click is not working. Right, this is the reusable logic. We cannot. Suppose one click is not working because of the if you modify this click method logic, it will affect the remaining also. Right, click is a generic method to all the clicks. So there are some drawbacks with this. Right, to understand maintenance is very difficult. So mostly we will not use. Modular framework means what? To execute in a module way. Suppose if we take a test ng, we can execute login module, user module, admin module, right? Modular framework mostly, right? We will go with a modular or hybrid framework. Hybrid framework. Hybrid framework is combination of multiple framework. We will have a modular framework with data-driven framework. Data-driven means what? Execute same test case with multiple sets of data. Execute same test case with multiple sets of data driven frame. Right, these two will combine under page object model. Right, page object model, we will combine all these things and generate we will create a hybrid framework. We will create a hybrid framework is a combination of multiple frameworks. Mostly in industry, we will go with a hybrid framework. Hybrid means it will support with a modular framework, data-driven page object model. These are all. Right. These are the different frameworks we have. Right. Then what is the framework overview? Suppose how to start with the explanation of. Right. Suppose if we have a 3 to 5 years experience, mostly we will not get involvement in the framework. If we get involvement means that is a good opportunity. If we don't get We can say, I did not involved, but I know all the modules, components, what are those. If you are perfect with, suppose you are not involved, but you know how to implement, we can say, I have involved in the framework. But if you have 5 to 10 years experience, definitely we have to learn the framework, we have to explain it. There is no excuses. If you say, I don't know about the framework, immediately we will reject it. So definitely we should know. So how to start with? Right, we are using a framework, hybrid framework. It will support a end-to-end automation. Right, framework means not only we will support only web or API or mobile. Framework means we will implement to support all the things. Right, web automation, API automation, mobile automation, mostly. Mostly we will integrate all these things. Or at least web and API. Web and API we have to integrate or DB testing. Right. Implement, we have a hybrid framework. It will support end-to-end automation like web, API, and mobile. If we have mobile also, we can explain mobile testing also. And it contains then hybrid framework. We no need to explain what is hybrid. If suppose they asked what is a hybrid test, right? What is a hybrid framework, right? Then we can say hybrid framework means we are supporting multiple frameworks like a data driven. Our framework will support data driven testing and modular testing and page object model also. Right? We can explain. Keyword driven mostly we will not implement. Data driven, we can say data driven, modular driven. Modular means we can execute module wise by using test engine and data driven also. Right. Same time we can achieve by using test engine data providers. We can execute same test case with multiple sets of data. Right. What is the advantage of the framework? Now we will get a one more question. What is the advantage of the framework? Right. If we have a framework, we can write it neatly at one place all the reusable logics. Reusable. That means if multiple projects require a same framework, suppose you have a 2, 3 projects, they require a automation, web automation, API automation. Right? We no need to create multiple projects, multiple frameworks. Right? We can have across all the projects the same framework. We can use the same framework. We can create and we can give it to them. They will use the same framework. Right? We can reusable. That means almost reusable maintenance. Maintenance is very easy. Tomorrow you want to enhance one feature, right? We can add to it. All the teams will get automatically those features. Easy to manage and frameworks means it will support all the UI. Mostly we will implement web automation, API automation. Right. What are the key points in the framework? Right. Modular structure. Code is divided into modules. Right. Whenever we are writing a test cases, we have to divide into modules. Login module, search module, payment module. Right. Then we will login module, login related test case, search module, search related test case, payment module, payment related test. We can segregate it modular wise so that it will be very easy. Tomorrow someone ask, can you give me the what are the test cases automated for payment module? We can easily provide it. Right, keyword driven mostly we will not. Right, data driven approach. Data driven means by using Excel, JSON or DBCS. By using the data providers, we can achieve test engine data provider. We can achieve the data driven testing. Data driven means what? Same test case with multiple sets of data. Suppose if you take a Naukri, I want to create a multiple users. Right, functionality is same. Create the user, but a test data will be different. Right, that is called a data driven test. Supports multiple types of testing. Framework means it will support a UI testing, API, mobile testing, DB testing, different types of single framework will support multiple types of testing. What is the advantage? We have seen reusable, maintainable, flexible, efficient. Right. These terminologies we have to use reusable. Right. If we have implemented framework means reusable, it is very easy to maintain, flexible, and then efficient. Right, what are the components? Next thing, what are the tools and technologies we have used in the framework? What are the tools and technologies we have used? If you are using multiple technology, whatever technologies we have used, we can explain. Here I am taking Java. Java. What is the Java? G is for to write the scripts. If you want to write the scripts, we require one language. Whether you can go for Java, C Sharp, Python, JavaScript. Here I'm going with a Java. And then to automate the browser, we can have a multiple tools. We have a Cypress, we have a Playwright, and then Selenium. Here we are going with a Selenium WebDrive. It is to automate the web applications. REST assured API testing. REST assured used for API. TestNG is a unit testing framework to execute the test cases. TestNG will provide a multiple features. It will provide a annotations. We can group it, we can parameterize it, we can execute parallel. One more important thing, parallel execution. We can reduce the time of the execution. These features will provide by testing. What is a Maven? Maven is a build tool. That means it will manage our dependencies. Our framework will require Selenium dependencies, TestNG dependencies, REST assured dependencies, Excel dependencies, JSON dependencies, Log4j dependencies. These are all dependencies we cannot manually, we cannot add to our project. So Maven will take care of it. If we add just a dependency in the POM file, build a tool so that it will manage automatically. We can build and execution. If you want to run the test cases, different profiles also we can maintain, different plugins we can maintain in the by using Maven. Okay, Eclipse IDE, either Eclipse or IntelliJ. We can use either Eclipse or IntelliJ to develop the scripts and to execute our scripts. Schedule. I want to schedule every day. I want to execute. We can use Jenkins, GitLab pipeline, or Azure systems. We can use anything to execute it. And reference reports. We can generate different types of reports. Extent reports, Alluri reports. Right? Mostly we will use these reports. Extent or Alluri report. These are the different tools and technologies we have. We can explain. Right. Now, these are the different things. What is the framework we have implemented? What are the technologies? What is the advantages of framework and components? Now we will see framework internal details. Framework internal details like we will take a okay. What is the framework will contain? Framework will contain. Suppose we will take a framework. What is the framework will contain? Framework will contain, okay, it is a Maven project. Framework means we will create a Maven project. Right, we will create a Maven project. What it will contain? Maven structure is what? SRC main Java. Mostly we will use SRC main Java for framework. It will contain different packages. What are the different packages? We will contain base package, will contain an exception package, will contain a constants package. Right, we will contain a utility package. Okay, report package. These are the different packages we will. Right. In the base package, what it will contain? Right, base package, what it will contain? Base test and then base page. Base test and base page. We will see what base test will contain. Those things we'll see again. Exception will contain user defined exception classes. We can create our own exception classes. In some of the interviews, they will ask, did you created any user defined exceptions? Right, in the exception package, we can create a user defined exceptions. Constants. We can create a constants for our repeatedly using variables. Instead of defining multiple places, same variable. In same place, in the constants we will write. So that what is the advantage? Tomorrow you want to update it. Just one place we will update. It will affect all the thing, all the places. Suppose if you write 10 places, suppose I have a URL. If I write the same URL, something HTTP colon in 10 places. 10 places I have written like this. Tomorrow what will happen? Tomorrow what will happen? I want to update it. Suppose I want to update to new URL. It will take time consume. We have to search it all the places where it is. Suppose if we forget one place, again it will get issue. So we will create inside a constants. We can create a constants and one place you can update, it will reflect in all the places. Enums, suppose sometimes we require a enums also. Enums also we can create. Enums means same type of data. Suppose I want to maintain days, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday days are some same constants, same level of days, weekdays, months, right? Days, months, colors. In our framework also, we will get this type of, I want to maintain same type of variables. Then we will go instead of constants, we can go for enums. Instead of creating multiple string variables, we can create a one enum class and we can use it. We can also use utility classes. Utility classes we can use Excel utility, JSON utility, JSON utility. We can create utility classes. Then property util. We can also create a property util. And then report, we will use the extent reports. Extent reports. Right, extent reports. These are the basic things in the framework while creating. These are the basic things we require. Right, base package, constant package, exception, report package, right, util package. And then one more important drivers. One more important thing. We can, it is optional, but it's better to go with a factory design pattern. If you want to follow the factory design pattern, we can go with we can create a separate classes, Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Edge driver. So that what will happen if you maintain the factory design pattern. Tomorrow you want to Safari driver, you want to support mobile. We can easily create one class and implement it. If you implement everything inside a if and else blocks, right, it will confuse and the maintenance will be difficult. If you use the factory design pattern, then it will be very easy to integrate tomorrow new browsers. These are the framework components mainly, most of them. Then each component, if you see base test, base test what it will contain. Base test what it will contain, driver creation, close the driver, right, closing the driver, driver creation, close driver, and then reading Excel data, reading Excel data, and then reading JSON data, right, a report initialization. These are all different things in the base test we will do. Okay. Driver creation means where we can, if you want to, for every test method, I want to create a driver. Then where we will create at the rate before method, we will create a driver creation here. In the before method, we will create the driver creation. If you want every module, then we will go for before method, before test. That means we can reduce the number of driver instances. We can reduce the number of driver instances so that we can save some time. We can save the some time driver creation time. If we require before each and every method driver, then we will go for before method. In the after method, what we will do? We will close the drive. The after method will close the drive. Will close the driver. Before method, after method. Then before suit, one time activities. If you want to do before suit means what? It will execute only one time. So here what type of code I will write? Excel reading. I will read only one time and I will store it. Store the data. Excel reading. and then JSON. If you have a JSON, anything, if you have a Excel or JSON, Excel reading, JSON reading, then report, extent report, or some other reports, report initialization. This type of one-time activities code, we can use it. After suit, if you have anything, if you want to clear anything after, mostly after suit means we will not get anything. Mostly if we have anything after suit, you want to clear anything. Suppose sometimes we'll create the data in the database. I want to delete those data. Once the execution is finished, we can do that after suit. After suit, if you want to clean up the data, okay, something, clean up the data. I want to clean up, right? We can clean up that. And also in the framework, if we have a listeners, right, listeners, we can also use the listeners. Just logging purpose. If we want to listeners, we will use for logging purpose. We will use what is the which test method is executing. We can display and what is the start time and end time, total execution time, each test method time. We can display by using listeners. By using listeners, we can do that. Mostly logging purpose we will use. Okay, these are the base test will contain. And then what is the other thing? Important thing, base page. Base page will contain what to initialize initial initialize the page elements, right? Locators. Page factory dot init elements, right? In the constructor we will write a page factory dot init elements in the constructor we will write, so that it will initialize the page elements. Right, we no need to write each and every page in the constructor page factory dot init elements. In the base page, one time in the constructor we can write it. It will initialize it. And reusable page reusable methods. Page reusable methods like enter text, enter the text something, click, JS click, maybe mouse actions, window actions, red frames, all the reusable methods, right? Drop downs, all the reusable methods we will write in a base page. Mostly we will do initializing the elements and then reusable method to handle the page class elements. Right. This is the most important base page base test, what it contains. User defined exceptions. We can create user defined exceptions here. Like a user defined exceptions means suppose while identifying elements, we can throw element not found exception. We can create it and element not found exception. Something API exception, API related, or DB exception. Right? We can clearly write on which type, what type of exception we can create a different type of exceptions. Constant means repeatedly writing. Suppose I want to maintain some labels, button labels I want to identify, or error messages. I want to validate error messages. Those things, all those things in the constants we will write labels or error messages. That means fixed constants, fixed things. Right. In the fixed things we will write in the constants. Right. We will create a constants.java file. We can write all our public static final variables. Public static final string, suppose URL. Mostly capital letter. We will use a variables as a capital letters. Something google.com. Something. Right. This thing will not change. Right. These constants. Final means what? We cannot change it. That means it is a fixed constant. And static means without creating object, we can refer this variable. Public means anywhere we can access. Right. All the in the constants, so all variables are public static final variables. Right. That is cool. Drivers, we will have a Chrome driver factory, right? We can create Chrome driver class, Firefox Edge driver. We can initialize with different type of options. You want to run in headless mode, you want to run in SaaS lab, you want to run in browser stack, you want to different options, we can add it. So it will be very clear for Chrome driver what type of options we need to add, for Firefox what type of options, for Edge driver what type if we have, right? We can clearly mention inside it. Listeners, you can test listener, iSuit listener. We can use different types of listeners. We can log the execution time and we can print the what is the status of the test case. Those things also we can do it by using listeners logging purpose. This is about the framework. This is about the framework. Now come to test project. Right. Only framework we will create now. By using that framework, we need to use in our test project. We need to use in test project. How to use? There are multiple ways we can use that framework. We'll say SRC. Here we will use test Java. Main Java mostly we will not use in the test project. SRC test Java test resources. We will use SRC test Java, SRC test resources. Under SRC test Java, what we will have? We can also have a base. Here also we can have a base. That means project specific base page and base test. Project specific base page. We will get a scenarios like project specific reusable methods. Those things we cannot include in the framework. Framework we will include that is common to all the projects. If any specific project reusable functions are there, those things we will write inside a test on. Here also we will contain base, constants, and pages, tests. Mostly these are the things we will do. Under resources, we can have a test data folder, source folder. And if we are working with the API, we can have a payloads. These are the different packages we will contain. Here also we will have a, suppose project specific, I am working in some bank project, suppose bank based test. That means this bank based test will extend actual framework based test. Actual framework based test. Similarly, page also. We will have a bank base page, extends base page, framework base page. And constant, project specific constants. Project specific constants we will maintain here, project specific constants. And pages, we will have a right login page. We can create a login page, a user page, admin page, those things. And tests, we can have a login test and user test. Each and every page will extend, all the pages will extend project specific base page. Here bank base page, bank base page, bank base page internally extends base test. So here we should not write a base test directly. We will extend with the project multi-level inheritance. Here we are using a multi-level inheritance. While explaining the framework, they will also ask what are the different OOPS concepts we have. Right here, bank-based test. Each and every test will extend bank-based test. Here we can say we have used OOPS concepts. So what are the OOPS concepts used? This is also important. We have an encapsulation. Each and every page class encapsulation. Each and every page class. Encapsulation means what? Wrapping up of the data members and methods in a single class, single unit is called a encapsulation. That means our page classes are encapsulated. Encapsulation page classes are encapsulation because it will contain only page related. That page related variables. Variable means locators and methods, actions. Encapsulation means wrapping up of the data members and methods into a single unit is called a encapsulation. Our page classes are encapsulation example and inheritance. Inheritance. And we can also have a overload concept, overloading, overriding, overlay, right? Overloading and overriding also we can. Where we can do that overload in the base page. In the base page, what we can do? Suppose in the base page, right? We will write all the reusable page actions, right? Base page here, base page. Suppose in the base page, I have a click method. Click method we can write with a web element. And then we can write a click method with by locator also. Sometimes we can pass by locator, sometimes we can pass web element. So we can write click or enter text. These are all the different methods. We can say overloaded. I have done overloaded here. And overriding also. Suppose this click method is not working in the base page, suppose in the login page. In the login page, what we will do? We will extend that base page. Login page will extend base page. Suppose that click method is not working. We can say we can override that click method for specific to this page. That means we are overriding that click method. We will implement a overriding means what? We will override same signature with a different functionality. With a different functionality. With a different functionality. That means internal functionality will change. Change the functionality. Okay, change the functionality. We can say that these are all the whoops concepts also. We can encapsulation, inheritance, overload, overriding. These are all. Okay. Abstraction also we can tell. Abstraction means hiding the internal details and showing only necessary details. That is also a page classes. Page classes we will create a private locators. Right. Private locator. Hiding means by using the private locators we are hiding the details of the locators. We are exposing only methods. Through methods, public methods we will get. We are exposing only methods. For abstraction also we can. Okay, coming to our pages, we will contain different pages, test classes, and then resources. In the test data, what we will maintain? Either Excel test data or JSON test data. And then here, source means test.ng files. We will maintain a test.ng source. And payloads, either JSON payloads or XML payloads we can use. But this test project, how to use that? How to use that framework? Right. The multiple people will follow multiple approaches. Multiple people will have multiple. Some people framework. Suppose this the right. Okay. Okay. Framework. Suppose when it is coming. Framework one. Suppose if we take a framework one. Some people will use structure SRC. Why it is going? SRC Maven project. We can have a Maven project. And then inside a project SRC, we will have a SRC test SRC main Java. Inside SRC main Java, we will write a framework code. SRC test Java, we will write a in the same project. That means framework and test project both are inside a same project. Some people will maintain like this. Suppose that tomorrow, right? So this is the framework one. Suppose one more framework two. If we take a framework two, why it is coming differently? Okay. Suppose framework two. If we take a framework two, what they will do? Framework, we will create a framework. For framework, they will create a separate Maven project. Separate Maven project. For test project, again, separate project. For test project, separate project. I will take a separate window. I think it's not coming properly. Okay, quickly we will go. Framework 1. Framework 1 will maintain SRC main Java, SRC test Java. Same project, within the same project, we will maintain everything. Framework plus test project. Framework plus test project. Both we will maintain under same project. Now coming to different one. Framework 2, some projects will have a different structure. For separate framework, separate project, they will create a separate project. They will create Maven project, separate project. Maven project they will create. For a test project, they will create a separate test project, Maven, separate Maven project. Okay. Then what they will do, they will include here in the SRC test resources, SRC test resources. Here for framework, create a jar file. They will create a jar file. They will create a jar file. That jar file, they will include in the test SRC test resources lib folder. Sorry, lib folder. They will include framework jar, framework jar. They will create a jar and they will include it. In some projects, what they will do, same structure. For framework separate project, for test project separate, but in the form.xml, they will include the form.xml, they will include the framework dependency. They will add the, instead of jar file, they will add the dependency. They will add the dependency, framework dependency. They will add framework dependency. What they will do for this framework, what they will do for this framework, they will create a jar and upload to Maven repository. They will upload to Maven repository. Then a test project will get a jar dependency from that Maven repository. For that, we need to do some settings. Some companies will have more restrictions. So they will create internal repository. They will have an access repository. All right, Maven repositories of company, internal Maven repositories will be there. We have to get dependencies from their repository instead of public repository. We can do either two ways. We can include the jar file or we can get a dependency. We can add a dependency and we can get it. These are the different frameworks different companies will maintain. Right. This is about the what are the different components we will available in the framework test project and each class what it will contain. So far we have seen. Now we will see flow of execution. Flow of execution. Right. That is also important. Sometimes they will to ask us to explain how the flow will execute it. Flow always will start from either local or CIC. Flow execution will start from either local or CI/CD. Mostly we will explain while explaining we will do with CI/CD only. We will start from Jenkins or we can have a GitLab or Azure. From Azure we will have a Jenkins again internal. From there also we can execute. That means just that is a URL we have to open Jenkins URL in the Azure or wherever it is deployed. GitLab. CI/CD tools we can use Jenkins or GitLab. Then local means we can use local. Mostly we will not tell while explaining. We will not explain this. We will explain from CI/CD. Then next, once we start the execution, it will have some parameters. Will have some parameters, right? One which environment we have to send environment and suit files and different other things if we have any parameters. Those parameters we have to send from environment variables like a environment variables. While executing from Maven, how we will send mvn test -d environment equal to suppose dev environment. These we will get from again Jenkins local variables. -d environment -d suit. These things we will get from again these parameters. If you have an idea about the Jenkins parameters or GitLab parameters, we can get it from there. This is we will here in the form file we will have a Surefire plugin. Surefire plugin. By using that plugin, we will tell suit file. What is the suit file? We have to execute basically. That our goal is to execute a regression file or sanity file, which one we want to execute. Right. Here, it will pick whichever suit file we will select from the CI/CD pipeline or local, whichever is we are triggering. It will pick from the POM file. If you are running from testng file, it will not involve pom.xml. If you run in local Maven, then it will involve POM. If you run from testng, it will not involve. Mostly from the CI/CD tools, we will run only through Maven only. Then next step, how it will go? Next step, it will go with our test class. Suppose I am triggering the login test case. Suppose okay, login test. Login test we will have internally what it will have at the rate test something public void verify login some method is there. Then internally what will happen directly it will not execute. There it will extend right our base page. It will extend our base test. Then we will have a here before method before suit right. It will execute first before suit. If we have a before suit and then before method driver creation, it will execute. Then it will have a after method. Once the test case is execution done, after method will execute. Okay, here sorry. Before suit, before method. Okay, before after method after suit, those things will execute. Okay, those things. Then it will go like this. Then once it is done, next what it is inside a test class, we will create a page object. Suppose login page. We will have a login page. So login page. Right, it will trigger login page. What login page will have locators and methods. Then login page immediately it will not execute. Again, it will go to base page. Each and every page class will extend a base page. Right, inside a base page we will have a initialize the locators. It will initialize the locators. And then we will have a reusable methods. Right. It will call constructor. Inside a login page, constructor will call automatically base page. Inside a constructor, what we will have page factory dot init elements. It will initialize the elements. It will initialize the elements. Right. Once execution is done, what it will do once execution is done, it will generate the report. It will generate the report module. It will generate the report, either extent report or Alluri reports, whatever report you are using, it will generate the report. This report will publish it to this report. This report will publish to back to CI/CD pipeline. Or if you are using local, it will store in the local. From this CI/CD tool, we can publish in the CI/CD tool or we can send a mail. We can send a mail, or we can publish to Teams. Teams also we can publish that report. Right. This is the overall flow, how we can explain what is the execution, architecture or execution of the framework, how it will execute. Right, like this we can explain entire framework. So we have to explain within a 5 to mostly they will give you 5 minutes time. That's it. Right. Here I have explained very detailed things, so it will be very long. So you have to remember, you have to complete within a 5 to 5 minutes, mostly within a 5 minutes. We have to complete. We have to explain very clearly. We have to explain very clearly what is the framework components, the test project, how the execution, each and every class, what it contains, so that they will impress. Right. If they will ask any questions, if you don't know anything also, all right, I did not get a chance to work on it. Definitely, I will go through it. We can say, if we say instead of saying no, we can say I did not get a chance to work on it. Definitely, I will look into it. It's a good thing you have come up with. I don't know that topic. I don't have idea, but I will go through it. We can say it. That this is about the framework, how to explain it. I think you like. Right. I have mostly explained everything. You will get it. If you have any questions, if you did not understand anything, if you have any questions, you want anything further, just comment in the comment section. I will I will provide the reply. If you comment it, definitely I will reply to the. If you want any more videos on the different topics, let me know. I will make on it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it to your friends also. Right. Thanks for watching. Thank you.